Today, we're diving into some seriously cool mental math shortcuts. We're talking about multiplication tricks that will basically supercharge your brain and make you look like a genius.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Take a look at this problem on your screen. 48 times 125. How long would that take you to solve in your head? No pen, no paper. 10 seconds? Maybe 20? Well, what if I told you that's way, way too long?
Yeah, you heard me right. With the right technique, you can knock that problem out in about 3 seconds flat. And I promise, by the time we're done here, you'll be able to do it too.
So here's the plan. We're going to build your new mental math toolkit with 4 awesome strategies. We've got the splitting strategy, working with easy bases, unlocking the so-called golden numbers, and finally, harnessing the power of 2. Let's get right into it. First up, we've got the splitting strategy. Now, this one is probably the most intuitive trick in our toolkit. The whole idea is simple. Instead of wrestling with a big, awkward number, you break it down into smaller, much friendlier pieces.
Let's try it out with 72 times 304. I mean, who wants to multiply by 304, right? It's clumsy. So let's just split it into 304. Easy. First, you do 72 times 300. That's 21,600. Then you do 72 times 4, which is 288. Now you just have to add those two numbers together.
And you've got your answer, 21,888. See, no crazy multiplication needed at all. So here's the rule of thumb. Anytime you see a number that's just a little bit over a nice round number, like 408 or 156, your brain should immediately go split it. It's a super reliable way to just clean up the whole calculation.
Okay, on to our next tool. This one is kind of like the mirror image of splitting. Instead of breaking a number down, we're going to round it up to an easy base number, and then just subtract the little bit we added. Check this out, 36 times 248. That number, 248, is so close to 250, which is a fantastic number to work with. So let's just pretend the problem is 36 times 250 minus 2. So first, 36 times 250 is a nice round 9,000. Then 36 times 2 is 72. And now you just subtract that 72 from 9,000.
And there you have it, 8,928. Again, we just sidestepped a really messy multiplication by getting close first and then making a tiny adjustment.
And listen, this trick is a huge deal in the real world. According to our source material, those competitive exams, especially the ones for banking, absolutely love using numbers like 99 or 999. A problem like 45 times 999 looks scary, but it becomes a piece of cake when you just think of it as 45 times 1,000 minus 1.
All right, you ready for the one that separates the amateurs from the pros? This is where we get into the golden numbers. These are special shortcuts that can turn a really hard multiplication problem into, believe it or not, simple division.
Okay, there are 2 golden numbers you need to burn into your memory right now, 125 and 625. Just remember this, 125 is the exact same thing as 1,000 divided by 8. And 625? That's just 10,000 divided by 16. This simple conversion is the entire key.
Okay, let's go all the way back to that first problem I gave you, 48 times 125. Instead of multiplying by 125, we're just going to swap it out for 1,000 divided by 8. So now the problem is really just 48 divided by 8, and then times 1,000. Well, what's 48 divided by 8? That's easy, it's 6. Now just multiply that by 1,000.
And boom, 6,000. That's it. That is how you solve it in 3 seconds. You're not actually multiplying, you're just dividing and tacking on some zeros. It's beautiful.
And you better believe this isn't just some neat little party trick. Our source makes it really clear. This is one of the most repeated patterns on competitive exams. The second you see the number 125, it should be like an alarm bell going off in your head. And the same exact logic works for the super golden number, 625. A monster of a problem like 32 times 625 just completely transforms. Instead of multiplying, you just divide 32 by 16, which is 2, and then multiply that by 10,000, giving you a nice, clean answer of 20,000. This is the perfect example of how seeing the pattern is so much more powerful than just trying to calculate by brute force. All right, our final technique for today leverages the power of 2. And the core idea here is really simple. Doubling a number in your head is just way faster and easier than trying to do some weird, complex multiplication. Let's take 24 times 512. The absolute key here is spotting that 512 is a power of 2. Now, we can break up 24 into 3 times 8. So first, let's just multiply 512 by 3. That gives us 1536. Now, instead of multiplying by 8, we just double that result 3 times. So 1536 doubled is 3072. Double and again, you get 6144, and one final double gives us 12,288. You see? A few quick, simple steps are always going to beat one slow, complicated one, every single time. So let's just take a breath. In just a few minutes, you have added 4 incredibly powerful tools to your mental math toolkit. Let's do a super quick review of what you've just mastered.
You now have the splitting strategy for numbers like 304. You can simplify things with the easy base method for numbers like 248. You've got a secret weapon with the golden numbers trick for 125 and 625. And you know how to turn tough multiplication into simple doubling using the power of 2 trick.
You know, the big takeaway here really isn't about just memorizing tricks. It's understanding that mental math mastery isn't about being a human calculator. It's about training your brain to see the hidden structures and the beautiful patterns behind the numbers. These tricks we went over today, they're just the beginning. The real question is, what other patterns are out there just waiting for you to find?